For aesthetic reasons, we're going to want to cover this 1x2 to the very end. The vinyl should stop about a ½ inch from your deck. Go back up to the top and cut it straight out and flip it over, and it should cover the 1x2. Here, the 2x4 is exposed and will need to be patched. The patch will be covered by the siding, so we don't have to worry about the aesthetics or waterproofing of that. It'll be glued later when we return to do our flashing. The final step will be to caulk it and seal it. At this point, we're ready to glue our 1x2 to get ready for the flashing. Peel material back to expose where we finished gluing on the back of the vinyl. Take our brush and apply glue contact cement. Glue the top of the 1x2 and the plywood to make sure that we're going to get a good heavy-duty bond there. Take our brush and glue the back of the vinyl as well. And take the spreader and make sure that we have a good bond on the deck surface right up to the edge of the 1x2. Take your hand and roll it over to create a nice-looking true 90-degree corner so there isn't any moisture buildup. It's important that you get a good bond right to the bottom of the 1x2 to eliminate any peeling back at any point in the future. Finish right up to the edge where the finished flashing goes. You will eventually put a patch in there later. In this corner, we're going to do what is called a dog's ear. Roll the vinyl over the edge to get a true 90. Take the vinyl and push it from both directions right up tight to the corner where we'll create what looks like a dog's ear flap. When we trim this out, we'll come along and heat weld both of those corners so that flap is actually heat welded to the deck. And then we'll start installing our flashing. To start our trimming phase of our installation, make an incision even with the bottom of the 1x2. Use the bottom of the 1x2 as a straight edge. Take your time to make sure that the blade doesn't bite into the 1x2. People can see this area, so you want the cut to look nice and straight. If you're not using a 1x2 on the installation, if you're just putting the flashing right onto the wood fascia, install the flashing first and use your flashing as a straight edge to cut the vinyl even with the bottom of the flashing. Now go back and trim the corner where the dog's ear is. When we do the dog's ear, apply heat to the inside flap of the dog's ear until it starts to get to a molten stage and starts to soften up. As it softens up, take the roller and put pressure on the corner and roll that flap right around the corner. Then apply heat down at the bottom where the flap is. We now have a dog's ear flap where there is no cut on the corner, so there is no way water can penetrate that corner. At this point, we're going to apply a little bit of heat in underneath the seam and simply going to roll from the side, not applying too much pressure, applying a little more heat. Next, make a capping pass to make sure that the very edge of the vinyl is melted down like the top surface. Go underneath to make sure the two seams overlap and are melted together. To patch the corner, cut a piece large enough to overlap the vinyl by about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch all the way around. It's a simple process of applying heat and molding or sculpting the piece into place. The heat holds everything together, melts everything together for a waterproof protection. Go back and do a second capping pass.